All right, so these AI security grids, these have a lot of potential. And I see these major market vertical models coming together, and people are kind of like blinded by the potential of AI. And it's a kind of a blanket term. But there are two different things. There's image recognition AI, and then there's language recognition AI. And those are the two biggest pieces of AI that people think about. I don't think we have to worry about AI until we get to a point where we're trying to model consciousness and making decisions, really, as how these language systems get plugged into. Because the language systems, I think, are what you can use to code consciousness, really. It would have to be a collection of language concepts and mathematical models that drive those language concepts. And you can try to build in an ethical calibration system for those models, maybe, and then you're getting close to building something that seems like it's sentient, but I don't actually ever believe you can code sentience, really. You can code an illusion of it, but it's not going to actually be sentient. And so I think that people get worried about AI, and I'm worried about AI, but not if we have a plan like this, and we're compartmentalizing how we approach things, and we're having very informed discussions, and we have a cyber force that's positioned for success because we have every one of these pieces. And so I don't worry about AI if we have a model like this at all. I don't worry about it. But I worry right now how people are managing security and what they're saying they're doing with my medical records, with just following me around and potentially if they wanted to. And so, you know, I don't trust that every one company is saying, well, trust us, we've built our team and blah, blah, blah. You know, I know that there's a better way we can work together where we have this many companies all saying, yes, this is the best way to build this security. And so you have these companies in the AI sphere, and they're all building their different large language models, but they're also kind of looking at one another are doing, and they're patenting where they have unique approaches. They're trying to market when their model is more efficient. But people have the freedom to try to build a less efficient model, and they have the freedom to try to build more, to try to compete in that market space. But we also have to try to regulate this, and we have to position ourselves for those things. Now, that AI security, the language modeling, there's a lot of mechanics in the language modeling, and I'm not going to say I understand all of those. I've done a little bit of research into natural language parsing and how that all works, and I think it's very interesting. But I don't worry about the way you can have models that are more efficient at finding different solutions and combing through different types of data. And so there will be models that have different benefits in different circumstances. But what I really worry about is how we connect. You have this language model, and then how it gets connected to what I say, like an ethical modeling system, or how it gets to drive an AI robot in the home, for example, to make decisions. I worry about that. I think we have to collaborate on that level. I think having the large language model companies who are working together on maybe enabling sentience, because I do believe it'll come through the large language models and mathematical relationships between concepts. But it's going to be an illusion of sentience, but it's still driving decision trees of different sorts. And I think that we want to collaborate on how those decision trees are driven. We don't have to have transparency around how the language models are being driven in a lot of contexts, but the way that language model is then using data to drive another ethical system, or those mathematical relationships between how it could drive a decision matrix of sorts, that's interesting. But calculations per minute, one system being stronger than the other, yeah, but then we're talking about turning the market to the features that get built on top of that, and that's going to be some of these AI security features, the ways that you could build conversation archiving for instant replay of, trying to be the best communicator with your partner, your family, whoever it might be. Also in an engineering setting, crediting who comes to the table with a great idea and being able to kind of archive notes in different ways from team meetings. And so there are lots of ways that you can do that and highlight different people's contribution journey. You can build this as part of your career journey. And then when you're in a meeting, it's very clear you can build an employee's key performance indicator journey much more easily if you have a technology like that. And it doesn't take a huge amount of data to archive these things, and it can all be part of this different model, different ways companies can incorporate data into their enterprise system, and a cloud model can support a base level of your journey, and an employee who really cares about their development can pay for an employee development package and try to get extra features for their key performance indicator employment journey. And you can build products in the marketplace for that. or companies can help collaborate with those products and incorporate them into their enterprise management solutions, all kinds of things, kind of like we do with Jira right now. Or different companies have different approaches like that. But that's where the AI security grid can really evolve. And then you have 911 calls. And so this gets tied, this conversation archiving system gets tied to a screening feature that's tied to a 911 system. And then you have 911 able to Shazam out songs and noise and background noise and correlate voice profiles from identities and see if they have a keyword that they're saying, or they detect distress or an attack of some sort. You can have a very advanced AI system that's built for this, and then citizens, through the wearables that they buy and subscription services with security companies that extend out from their home to follow them around through these wearables. Well, we got to design the market in order to enable this. Otherwise, when I have my wearable, or my sister, or if I ever have kids, if I have a daughter or a son that has a wearable on, if their battery dies and they're at somebody else's apartment anyway, it's not going to work for them, or whatever else. And so how can we build the strongest overall, most versatile system and have it be as secure as possible for society? And how many problems will that solve for us if we have a system such as that? And so I say, certainly, let's think of every one of the things that'll stop us from getting this system in play. And there will be people arguing over the ways these systems can be built. And we can get very serious about saying, hey, we have a cyber force and we're thinking very seriously about how we're building these products. If you have an alternate opinion, try to object. Here's a specialized social media for you to object. But also, we're going to see who's trying to really take their learning journey seriously. And we're going to be seeing who's really trying to interact with and understand the issue. And I, for sure, as somebody who really cares and is conducive, who cares about other people's time, I'm going to click 90. I want to understand in this issue, this is cybersecurity and what drives security of the military largely, if you understand the implications. And so I care about people who understand at least 50% of the background and 90% of the stuff that's referenced on this page. Maybe you don't have to understand all the mathematical different types of algorithms that you can have for security, but you have to understand some of them. And you have to understand that there are different ways of approaching that, and that we need to protect that in the marketplace. And you have to have some way of conceptualizing how we protect the free market in reference to this solution that we're trying to pursue. And then we try to build the best free market around providing this service for our nation. And we incorporate these security features in other devices, as in this example. But I was talking about a second ago, I want to say, and I love referencing communism in this because if you have a completely privatized backup government strategy, then the government technically owns your means of collaboration. And again, as long as you're doing a really good job with Cyberforce and maintaining the security and integrity of that organization, you can have it. But I was talking about the ultimately the AI assistant and security grids, and how people will only trust the way certain products can be built. Psychology is another great example, and how we incorporate that with the counseling systems at schools. Parents will care about that. And so we need a way of interfacing how these systems are designed, or should be designed even, and managed in our population. We need that, and AI assistance and security grids. People have all those concerns about how those are built and managed, just like how psychology is managed relevant to gun control and student journeys, and how we integrate what types of psychology tools in the classroom. Keeping in mind that the whole point of these is to help build a diary tool, a digital diary tool. I don't want to get off topic or meld these topics any more than I already am, because it's a lot to sort through. It's been a nightmare to kind of put this project together. But I appreciate the challenge, and I know this will do a lot for a lot of families and protecting a lot of people and ensuring optimal quality of life for so many people to pursue their dreams. Wow, I wish I could have chased after so many different things going on in our population. It's cool that now there's Shark Tank. They didn't really have that when I was a kid. They had The Apprentice. But see how you can make this our society about networking in these ways, in a bigger way than even The Apprentice does, kind of more like Shark Tank does. But you can combine these network strategies, and that's why I say I got inspiration from all of you, and I would love to work with any of you. But I think the best way for us to work is all together. And I think we should find a way to make that work. But definitely have the right amount of competition in here to see who can build the very best solution ecosystems. Absolutely. Because though I want to compete with other companies like Facebook and X, and Quora and Reddit and LinkedIn, on who can build the best implementation of these architectures, I think that I've already proven that, one of them would like to recruit me. But the better I do, maybe it's Facebook, and because I'm pretty sure they're going to pay the best. But, I care more about and see that how that solves all issues for me. I can talk about building the best architecture for our society, but we can talk about getting scouted around for whoever has the best talent can end up on the best team. But we still open up that marketplace because it's more important that we try to continue to be better. But what's the right amount of time for companies to have patents in a modern age relevant to some levels of these technologies? I think in some of these digital arenas, it's better to only have like a 5-year patent. Like could one of the social medias say, we want to do this social media plan that Brandon has, we want at least 5 to 10 years to lock this down? I think that that's fair, but I definitely don't think it should be more than 10 years, and I do believe that 5 is appropriate. But I think that's, it's 5 years from when it's done. It's like, all right, we're going to try to get this done. We'll get it done. We get 5 years access. Or, maybe they come to me now and they say, we get 5 years starting right now. Hopefully we can build it fast. Because I think they could get it done by the end of the year, for sure. A way cooler, a total actualization of what I'm going for here with strategic pivot and these different learning grids coming together. I think they could build a demo version even if we don't have the major market vertical for education and the relationship with the major market vertical for strategic pivot perfectly defined yet. I think we can agree that having those two teams working together is better than just having strategic pivot control it all or the education community control it all. I think it's better to have that collaboration. And are there better, more intelligent ways to structure that? I'm open to those ideas. Thank you.